What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking the Mustang to the frame shop, which is 23rd Garage. They're actually going to be helping me with the framework on this Mustang. And we did stop by the dealership today in the morning, and we got some of the apron pieces. This is the top piece and the bottom piece. I'm not sure if we'll have to replace both of them, but these pieces are pretty cheap. They're like 60 bucks a pop, which comes out to, I think, like $400 for everything, because I did also buy this Mustang GT brace right here, because that's going to give us a general idea of how bad these things are pushed over. So let's go ahead and pop this hood. We're going to try to put that strut brace on and see exactly how bad the towers are pushed over. So I think you just set it down like that right there. That goes to this side. And holy cow, look at that right there. That is supposed to bolt onto it right there. And you can see it is just completely pushed over. So we'll have to put it on the frame machine, basically pull both of these shock towers back. You can see it's kind of all crumpled right there. And that's why I bought a new piece. So let's see. I think this is the driver's side right here. And that's basically going to get bolted right in there, or welded right in there. I mean, you could probably straighten all that out, but honestly, it's just a lot better to go ahead and replace it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take this car over to the frame shop. So I'll catch you guys over there. Mustang driving in. I gotta say, this thing drives pretty good, even though the shock towers are a little bit pushed in. It's basically like having a car with some pretty bad camber, which I know a lot of racers love camber, so they love this car. But we did avoid all highways, and we're cruising like 30-40 miles an hour. The steering wheel is a little bit crooked, but I mean, what do you expect whenever the wheels are kind of pushed in? And I know the driver's side wheel is a lot more pushed in than the passenger one, but that's okay. We're gonna head to the frame shop, put this thing on the frame machine, and hopefully pull this thing out pretty quick, because I want to get this car done in about 3-4 days, just to see how fast we can get it done. I mean, this thing wasn't wrecked too hard. I mean, it's already on the road, ice cold AC, everything is good to go. So guys, we just made it to 23rd Garage. We're gonna go ahead and pull this Mustang up on the frame machine. The boys are actually out. They're picking up some equipment, or their Bobcat over there. But this thing actually drove pretty good. We did take all the back roads. I mean, the alignment is a little bit off, because as you can see, the camber is pretty bad on both sides. So we're gonna drive this thing on the frame machine and hopefully start diving into it, and hopefully we can get this thing knocked out pretty quick. So we got the car up on the frame machine, and we also went ahead and lifted up the frame. Now it's time to go ahead and do a little bit of disassembly work. First thing we need to do is take off these rocker panels right here. And what that's gonna do is expose the little pinch weld on the bottom. Plus we're gonna have to remove these fenders. So it's gonna be good to have this rocker panel off on both sides. And then we can start tearing apart the entire car. But we'll probably do that once we set it up on some of these clamps right here. So once we're pulling, nothing moves around. So let's get straight to it, get both rocker panels off, and get it set up on some clamps so we can get this thing ready for some pulling. So we got both side skirts off the car, and now we've exposed this little pinch weld right here at the bottom. And the thing to note is there's no damage anywhere on there, which is pretty good. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and lift the car up and put these right here on there, and it's just gonna clamp it nice and tight. So when we're pulling those shock towers out, nothing moves. So let's grab the jack, get this thing in the air, and get it clamped down. So we got the car sitting nicely on clamps. We got the driver's side done and also the passenger side over here. Everything is bolted on tight. And my brothers actually just came back. Let's go check out what they're doing over here. They got their Bobcat over here that they actually rebuilt. They rebuilt the entire undercarriage on this thing. Kind of like what we need to do on the Mustang. Rebuild all the undercarriage. Yo, what is this?
Hey, you like that?
What is it for? A stump puller?
Yeah, you know we're having that property dispute with the neighbor.
Yeah.
It's fenced like 5 feet on our property, so we got this. We're gonna move it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Oh, what do you do? It just opens up and clamps trees?
We're about to do a little demonstration.
That's pretty nice. And they had to go pick this sucker up, and man, that thing looks crazy. All right, we're gonna just slap it onto the front of the Bobcat. Let me give you a hand there.
We're gonna try to. Should be good right there.
Yeah. You know what? You got the hydraulic hookup right here.
Yeah, we gotta get the connections though from Kubota.
Oh, I got the quick connects.
They got them quick connects.
Yo, this thing's an absolute beast though. Let's see if he's a good skid steer operator. What do you say about this operation?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Yo, that thing is pretty cool. Dang, that's some smooth undercarriage right there. Wait, how are the tracks? Everything good with them?
Yeah, I think we need to loosen the tension.
Yeah, they are pretty tight, but dang it.
I think they're too tight because we tightened them to how they were tightened, but those tracks were already worn out.
Oh yeah.
So I think we need to loosen them because we might end up ruining our tracks.
Yeah, it is pretty tight, but I mean, I don't know. I've never.
Too tight. Let me go get those wrenches.
The wrenches loosen them up, but dang, this thing's a beast. They rebuilt both undercarriages. That's a lot of work right there. All these bolts. What is this? Port 15? No. So now that we got the car all in clamps, it's time to go ahead and strip everything down. We're gonna go ahead and remove both front rims, take the entire front bumper off, basically disassemble the entire front clip so we can get to those shock towers and see exactly how bad all the damage is under here. So check it out, we got the entire front of the Mustang all nice and stripped down. And I gotta say, this is some weird damage. I've actually never seen this before in a car. As you can see, this right here is all crumpled up. It's mangled right there. It's torn in a couple of spots, as you can see right there, and that is razor sharp. That's pretty crazy. This guy must have jumped a huge hill or something, landed on the front end, and it just pushed everything up and buckled it. But we do have our new piece right here. You can see this is supposed to be perfectly straight, just like that. And then you can see this one is, it kind of goes up, which I'm thinking once you pull this down and over, it should come back into its original spot right there. And I'm thinking this inner piece is still actually good. I know it's a bit worse on the other side. You can see I did buy both pieces, the inner and outer skins. Which is cool because then you can just weld them together. So let's go ahead and check out the driver's side over here. This side's a little bit worse. I don't know why. Maybe there was just more weight in the driver's seat and it kind of just crumpled it a lot more. Or maybe it just landed with the driver's side wheel. You can see even all the paint and clear coat came off right there. And then this inside right here, this is all crushed right here. And man, I don't even know how we're gonna get this thing back straightened out. Hopefully after we fix everything, maybe the alignment will be good. This is definitely gonna be a pretty hard repair just to get this all back into its original spot and make the car drive perfectly fine. But I mean, it drove good even right now. Even with the camber pushed in, it drove decently. It wasn't like bad. I don't think the caster's off too bad. And there's a little bit of adjustment in these control arms. Well, actually there's not. This actually has no adjustment there, and there's no adjustment there. So this is gonna have to be spot on. And man, that's crazy, dude. He must have hit a jump maybe 20 feet in the air or something, because look at that right there. Crushed all that, crushed all that. But I'm just glad it didn't really go too far into there. Like all this right here is perfectly fine. It's basically just this top piece right there. And I wish he would have had, if he would have had the strut bar on, I'm pretty sure the damage wouldn't have been so bad. But you know what, he didn't have it. And then I did notice something else. If you can look in there, the motor mount is actually cracked in half. That is crazy. Must have been a pretty hard jump or hit. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start doing some thinking and see exactly how we're gonna pull this car out. So me and Yuri have actually been doing some brainstorming over here, and I think we got a general idea of what's going on here. Basically, this shock just went up and over, and I think we're gonna try doing a little bit of pulls, because I mean, there's really nothing in the book on how to pull this out, because this is definitely a unique damage right here. But I think we're gonna grab some clamps and try to start pulling it over this way and kind of just start seeing what happens. Because I mean, we do have new pieces here, so if we do tear this or rip it open, we won't really need the old pieces. And honestly, everything else down here looks good. Like none of the welds down here broke. All that looks nice and solid. There's no paint that's ripped off right there or anything like that. So what do you say? Let's grab a clamp and just, you know, we'll try it right here. Pull this out a little bit. I mean, I think it has to come about an inch. And I mean,
yeah,
usually,
what I think, you know, we got those two clamps. You can clamp it with two and put a bar and pull them both like that. That way, you don't tear it, and you'll have a nice pulling points right here and get the whole thing out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually you always see this. Even like when the cars are hitting the front, usually this stuff crumples either way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When the frame rails get bent in the front, this right here all crumples. So.
Yeah, if you ever look under the hood of a Mustang, that's the first thing you can look at is this part right here. It should be all nice and flat like this. And since it's so big and wide and visible, as soon as you look at it, you can see it.
Yeah, because I mean, a light front end impact just increases it all
and
the time.
most people, they won't fix it. Because it doesn't really matter, I guess, but...
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start putting some clamps on here and do a couple of test pulls and just see what happens.
Do it.
Surely. So Yuri went ahead and put the clamps on, and then we got the tower set up, and now we're gonna give it a little bit of a pull and see exactly what happens over here. I'm quite curious to see what's gonna happen with this apron section.
You got your hammer?
I do know.
There you go.
I need a hammer. There we go. Sure. Now what we're gonna do with this hammer is just basically tap it, get all the pressure out of it.
Ready?
Oh yeah, dude, it's coming out with ease. All right, hold on. right, easy. So check it out, guys, the first pull, and I mean, it's pretty much straight right there. Obviously, we'll probably do a little bit more pulling once we cut this piece off, but I gotta say, that came out really easy.
Yeah. Hey, that's what happens when you put the clamps in the right spot the first time.
Yep, and you get all this pulling power right there. I mean, it pulled it out nicely. And check that out. I mean, I know some people that would have just, you know, welded that up and painted it in.
Yeah. Hey, if it was Florida, we'd send it.
Yeah, I'd send it right down there. But as you can see, look how straight this area is right here. See, this is perfectly aligned. And then we can do a little comparison with the other side. And you can see how this is pushed over. I mean, man, that was a quick, easy pull just to do that right there. Now I want to actually go ahead and grab the strut tower bar and see how much more it changed. Yeah, it goes like that. Before it was way off. Now let's see how much it is. And dang, look at that.
Did your original one get damaged?
Dude, it's almost there.
Almost. Need just a little bit more. This side's obviously got to come out.
Yeah. That side probably needs to come a little bit more, but I say we do another pull on this side, get this lined up, and then see how it fits up.
Yeah, since it didn't come with this, it probably was definitely a lot weaker than it should have been.
Oh yeah.
And that's crazy because this is the exact accident that you actually needed this for.
Yep.
Literally, when you think about why do you need a strut brace, this is the reason why you need one.
Well, yeah, because it would make it basically just it would stop both of them from moving, really.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would have destroyed more of the suspension or something, but at least the body of the car would not be as bad.
Yeah, but it's all right. I'm pretty sure this is why they totaled this car out, because I mean, this right here, to replace these parts right here, they'd probably charge you about $10,000, $15,000, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So we did a little bit of pulling on this side, and then Yuri has a great idea. We're actually gonna pull both aprons at the same exact time with this other tower right here. And I mean, I gotta say, now that we pulled the passenger side, this strut tower brace almost fits. It literally needs to go probably 1 inch, so probably ½ an inch on each side. I mean, this side came out really nice. I mean, I probably wouldn't even have to replace it. If you look at that right there, I mean, it's pretty much flat. There's no major damage or creases in this one, but there is a tear right there in the metal, so that's why we are gonna replace it. But we're gonna go ahead and set that tower up right there and get both sides pulled out at the same time. Everything nice and pulled out, and check that out. And I gotta say, Yuri's idea of using 2 posts is actually genius, because we were able to get both sides pulled out at the same time, and now this crossbar actually fits in there just perfectly. We centered it out right there, and man, I gotta say, the passenger side, it came out almost, I mean, it could almost be fixed, but unfortunately, you know, it has that tear right there, and we would like to just replace it because I already did buy it. And it's just good, you know, it's good to replace it.
I feel like this tear is only here because of us.
No, it was actually there before.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. I don't know how it happened, but you know.
But in all reality, if you wanted to, you could weld that up and fix this and it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
It's obviously better to replace it, but.
I just can't stand all that right there.
No, I like the way you're thinking, sir.
I can't stand, like, when you're driving it, you're gonna be thinking about that.
You're gonna know that dent right there.
And then, hey, if you do Bondo and you hit a little bump, you're gonna hear that Bondo pop right off there.
Yeah. And then if you go to a car show, they're gonna laugh at you, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it is underneath the hood, you know, you can see all this stuff, and might as well replace it. I mean, this piece was only $60, which that's pretty crazy. That's really cheap, actually.
The apron was $60?
$60 for the apron.
For both pieces?
No, just for one. The other one was $48. It's about $100 a side. Yeah.
That's really not bad at all.
Yeah, pretty cheap actually. I mean, some Ford parts are expensive, but like
yeah, some Ford parts are insane, and then some will be like dirt cheap like that. That's crazy. Yeah. But I guess it's because it comes in 2 pieces and you have to put it all together. And...
Yep, they feel bad for whoever's doing it. But I mean, there's not that much spot welds here, you know. Just take it off, put a nice fresh one on. I mean, yeah, the driver's side one is a lot worse though. You can see we were bashing on it, we were hammering on it, and yeah, it's definitely 100% going to be replaced. And we probably are going to replace the intersection too, because as you can see, all that right there is all wallered out. And yeah, it's really necessary to just replace everything like OEM. So what we're going to do right now is remove this radiator support, because as you can see, it does bolt onto the top of this apron, and we're just going to go ahead and remove it. I mean, it's pretty cool how it's only like half a piece, so it should be pretty easy to remove. So let's go ahead and remove this radiator support, and then we'll get to removing these top sections. So check it out, me and Yuri got both sides removed, and I gotta say this side does look a little bit worse. You can see the spot welds are all ripped off right here. And let's go ahead and see what Yuri's doing. He actually got all the spot welds or spot plugs made exactly in the same spot as the original one had it. And I gotta say the passenger side one isn't really that bad. Everything's lined up good, and all we're gonna do is replace the top section. As you can see, it just slips on there just like that right there. Let's see how it goes. It just slips on perfectly like that into position. And what he's doing right now is basically prepping this piece right now. They do a little bit more grinding, and then we need to paint the back side of this piece right here so nothing rusts. And I gotta say, the passenger one's gonna be a lot quicker. Yeah, we're probably gonna get it welded up.
Oh yeah, it's about to be on there.
Yeah, about to be done. The driver's side is gonna need a little bit more because we do have to replace the inner piece.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Oh, dang.
Mangled right there, mangled right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this piece too, and then we can install the new one. It shouldn't be too hard.
I have to say, you know what? That was a genius idea of making some of this real flimsy, because you see how it just breaks apart instead of ruining like the actual structure. So it's like built to, you know, tear up, fall off, come off.
Exactly. It's all built to save the driver. But anyways, we're gonna have to replace this piece right here. That means we are gonna have to reuse this bracket right here.
Yep.
Which is no big deal because we'll drill it out right here and weld everything up solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this piece right here, and then he's gonna go ahead and prep the other side, get everything painted in, and basically have that side to get welded up. And I think before we weld anything, we're gonna put both of them on, probably put the fenders on, bumper, make sure everything's good.
Yep.
And then we'll do that. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this inner piece. So check it out, I got my side all prepped up. I went ahead and sprayed some weld through primer over here. Now this side's a little bit more tricky than the other side. And then I also went ahead and sprayed in this little piece right here. We went ahead and primed it with some nice, I think it's E-coat right here. It's basically what the factory has on here. You can see it's like a little bit darker gray, but that's okay. We'll paint it in black after we're done. But check this out, Yuri got this side all lined up and ready to go. And he's gonna go ahead and start welding it. See, on this side, we only have to replace the top piece because the bottom piece was undamaged, but he got all the clamps on there, lined all up. Check that out. We got everything sanded out, smoothed out, and this thing is ready to weld. So he's gonna go ahead and weld it up. I'm gonna wish you a little bit of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Do it right. I'm just kidding. He always does it right, but he's gonna go ahead and weld this side in, and then we'll get started on welding on the driver's side. So I got the driver's side piece all nice and welded in, and now it's time to do a little bit of finesse work on it. I did grind down all the welds and it looks incredible. Now we just need to put a little bit of glazing putty, sand that down, and prime it in and give this thing a nice paint job. Check it out, guys. We got everything nice and painted. I gotta say, I can't be more happy with the way both of these aprons turned out. Check out the driver's side and then the passenger side there. Yuri did an amazing job. Big shout out to 23rd Garage. They always get me hooked up, especially when I come in here to do a little bit of framework. You know, we knock stuff out. I mean, it only took us a couple hours. I'd say about a day.
Yeah.
So we were working on the 4th of July.
Yeah, if you put all the actual working time,
yeah,
it'd probably be a little less than a day.
Yeah. I mean, it turned out awesome, though. We got everything painted in, and we did just use some satin black paint out of a can. I mean, it's just as strong, and it's just going to be just as good as regular car paint. And, I mean, they don't really put much clear coat in the engine bay as it is, but, man, look at that right there. This thing is almost ready to go back together. We are going to have to let this thing dry up, so we'll probably go ahead and put it all back together in the next episode. But, I mean, hey, we have all the parts. We can pretty much put this entire front clip back together and get this thing back on the road as fast as possible. But anyways, guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Also follow us on Instagram at vTuned. Thanks for watching.